The next type of examples, we are asked to write the equation of each line in point-slope form. Point-slope form is y minus y star equals m times x minus x star. And I put these stars here because that's where our numbers go in. So we will have y minus, right here will be a 6, equals 1/2 x minus 4. We put the x in for the x, y in for the y, and the 1/2 in for the slope. Letter B will be y minus 1 equals 2 times x plus 5. We put the negative 5, when you have a subtracting and a negative, it makes it a plus. So y minus 1 equals 2 times x plus 5. The next one, our y value is negative 4. So we will have y plus 4. Slope is negative 5. That stays the same. And then we will have x plus 3 because we want the opposite of that number. Letter D, the y is 2. So y minus 2 equals 10. X value is 6, so that becomes an x minus 6. And letter D will be y minus 7 equals 8 times x minus 1. Y minus y star equals m times x minus x star. Now these next examples, first thing we need to do is find the slope. And just a reminder, your slope formula, y minus y1, x minus x1. So I will do 7 minus 5, 1 subtract negative 6, and that becomes 2/7. And now we take that, and you can take either one of these points. I'm going to pick the first one, and it would be y minus 7 equals 2/7 x minus 1. You could also do the second one, y minus 5 equals 2/7 x plus 6. Either one of those is fine. So first of all, we find the slope, and then we put it in there. Letter G, finding the slope. I'm going to do 4 minus 3 over 6 subtract 2, y minus y, x minus x. Our slope then is 1/4. And you can pick either point. I'm going to pick this first one. And you will have y minus 3 equals 1/4 x minus 2. The other point would also work. Example H, first of all we find our slope, 10 minus 9, negative 2, subtract a negative 3. That becomes 1. Negative 2 plus 3 is a 1. So our slope in this case is 1. We can pick either point. I'm going to pick the first one. Y minus 9 equals 1 times x plus 3. Letter I, 10 minus 4 over 10 minus 4 is 6/6, which is 1. And then I'm going to pick the first point. Y minus 4 equals 1 times x minus 4. And that's our equation in point-slope form. Letter J, 1 minus 0, negative 2, subtract a negative 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. So our slope is negative 1. And then I'm going to pick the second point because it has a 0. And our equation becomes y minus 0 equals negative negative 1 times x plus 1. Letter K, 4 minus 4, 6 minus a negative 3 becomes 0 over 9. Slope of that line is 0, which means it's a horizontal line like this. And the equation of that line is actually y equals 4. Horizontal line has the equation y equals. Letter L, 6 subtract a negative 3, 4 minus 4 is 9 over 0. That is undefined. And an undefined line is straight up and down, vertical, and that has a form x equals, and this line will be x equals 4. The last 4 examples deal with parallel and perpendicular. Parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular slopes are negative reciprocals. So we are asked to do a line parallel, which passes through this point. Parallel tells us our slope is 7, and we're going to use this point. So that will be y minus 7 equals 7 times x plus 4. Example B, we want perpendicular. Perpendicular to that will be a negative reciprocal, would be 5. And using this point, we would have y minus 5 equals 5 times x plus 3. Letter C, we're looking at a parallel, negative 1/2. So we will have y minus 7 equals negative 1/2 times x plus 4. And letter D, we want perpendicular, so the negative reciprocal. So our slope will be 1/4. And we will have y minus 5 equals 1/4 x plus 3.